on. So we're about to be streaming. All right, there we are. Okay, beautiful. All right, listen, I got some good stuff to cover with you. I think you're all gonna enjoy this. Wade and I were talking this morning, and he wanted me to cover this, so I am looking forward to covering it. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen and let's go to this slide here. It's what I want to talk about for a moment. American businesses, how they stack up. Okay. This is showing your industry size, your industry size. Okay. We talked about it. This is all businesses in America right now. And you get by sales, annual sales. So when you look at where you want to focus your time, obviously we support the under 100,000 with Giggle. You know, they're all auto instant funding. We had someone get a $10,000 instant funding there yesterday. I mean, it happens, right? But you're only getting about one out of 25 cents on the dollar of your sales. So they must have had a personal bank account doing 40,000 a month, or they wouldn't have got approved for 10,000, right? So it's very rare that someone's going to go to Giggle that's doing under two or over 200,000 in sales. So the average funding there is very small. But your market, where your focus is right here in the blue, that's where we want to focus. And in fact, I'd say really at the 400,000 and up is where I'm focused because it takes the same amount of time. And look, there's 3 million people, over 3.2 million over 400,000 a month in sales. I'm sorry, 400,000 a year in sales. 2 million people over 400,000. I'm not even counting the 10 million and 20 million. You can see there's not a lot of businesses that are doing significant revenue. It's a small percentage. You know, look at all the businesses doing 20 million a year. There's only 100,000 businesses in America doing 20 million or more a year. There's a lot of big companies doing trillions and billions and all that. But once you get above 20 million, you pretty much go to 100 million, 200 million, 300 million, right? Those aren't our customers. So our focus is the blue area. There's 8.7 million businesses out there, 8.7 million businesses eligible. Now, here's the sad news. 80% of those will close in the next 5 years. And the number one reason will be lack of working capital. That is your product, guys. If you were doctors when COVID came, doctors were needed all over. My personal friend is a doctor, and he was not a infectious disease specialist. He's a family doctor, but they took him into the Providence Hospital, and he was on, they built tents in the parking lots, and every doctor was called in to become an expert to help these patients trying to save lives, right? All hands on deck. First responders, they were the heroes, right? They're putting their life at risk. Guys, you got a first responder responsibility. I do too. We have one every day. It's called business owners dying. And a business owners dying means employees laid off, employees not being able to get raises, lifestyle being restricted, cities becoming ghost towns. Let's look at the reality of this. If all those 1.5 million businesses just doing $500,000 a year, if they don't get access to working capital, how many of those 1.5 million go away? A lot, probably 500,000. Probably a third of those businesses are gone in a couple years if they can't get access to capital. And they're only doing $50,000 a month. They're not massive. 500,000 a year is not massive. Okay. So that's only 40,000 a month. It's hard to run a brick and mortar at $50,000 a month. Rent alone's a couple grand, product costs, et cetera, et cetera. So we are the first responders to help these people. You can't forget this. And I don't know that all of you really embrace that. Some of you do, but I wanted you to see how we stack up. That's your market. And you have, as far as the scaling a business opportunity, you've got millions of people are needed in this space. Millions. We need millions. If you're investing in real estate right now or in rental properties, you'd be advised invest in senior homes, assisted living homes, because the baby boomers are all starting to go into assisted living homes, and it's the best place to have rental properties. Well, guess what? If you're starting a home-based business, I'm telling you, if you're going to be an agent in anything, health insurance, there's already millions of them. Auto insurance, there's already millions. Life, there's already millions. Real estate, already millions. Mortgages, already millions. Business funding, there's millions of businesses needing us, and there's not millions of agents. It is the easiest, lowest hanging fruit. And just like in the Bible, Jesus said, the harvest is already ready. The land is already ready for harvest. We're already ready for harvest, guys. This blue market here, how we stack up, it's already ready. It's, are you ready to be the farmer? That's all that matters. You don't have to be. We understand, but you're here. And I assume you're here is because you know how large this is. So last night we did a game plan. Many of you were not on that. And I highly encourage you go watch it. It's not posted right now. You had to be on live. It didn't stream. So it was recorded to my desktop, frankly. We'll be doing some things with it and posting it, but we're not in a rush to do that. It's not our priority. The priority was to do it live for those who could be there. I'm glad you're here today watching this in recording or watching this live. I'm going to encourage you. Really, the timing is of the essence. The timing is of the essence because 5 years from today, there will already be a Rocket Mortgage. There will already be someone who's got the lion's share. There will already be a nationwide real estate company, as an example. There's already going to be a AAA. We are that company, and we're going to reward those who build it most, who fill the trainings, who fill the presentations, who fill the clients. So you don't ever have to be anything more than just a part-time agent. You don't ever have to be anything more than refer a client a few a year. You don't ever have to do anything more. This is an independent company for an independent country with independent agents. You don't have to do anything. I'm just letting you know that we're being mindful of the ones who are in the build mode, who are creating the momentum, because that's what we need more than anything. We need millions of agents. We literally need 1 million agents, because that would only be looking at the real estate industry. You have 1.5 homes for sale for every agent. That's it. There's 1.5 homes sold for every agent. 1.5 for every agent. 4.6 million homes sold, 3 million licensed agents. We got 9 million businesses right now in our bigger funding window. I'm not even talking about the 22 million instant funders. I'm talking about 9 million. That's double how many homes will sell next year, double that in business, and 60% of them need money. So 60% of 9 million is 5.4 million businesses need funding this year. They're not eligible at their bank. And where are they going to go to get it? DAC, that's where. That's where. So I'm going to encourage you, look at that market size. We did a warm market training yesterday. We're putting a warm market training into the program, but I would just like to say 2 other things, and I'll see if you have any questions about these numbers. Why you see the industry size, and you know your place and time. That's all I can hope you get out of this, is knowing your place and time. If you were to explain to me what's the value of the Bank Breezy funding platform, can you say it quickly? Do you understand what our offer is? It's business funding, yeah, but what else is it? Best offer? Okay, what else is it? See, the value is the likelihood they'll get an approval is over 80% if they meet our minimum requirements. And the likelihood of them getting an approval in one day is over 100% if they meet our qualifications. They're either getting approved or declined in a day, right? So they're going to get an offer immediately. They're going to get the best offer immediately. They're going to get declines, but they're also going to get acceptances. We only tell them about the best acceptance. They don't have to apply at a bunch of places. So how do you summarize that? Banks are great. Most can't wait the 2 months for a bank, or don't want to put up collateral, right? They're not eligible, but yet they all need money. Alternative capital is the new industry. Unfortunately, there's a lot of bad companies out there. So there's a lot of bad doctors out there too. So you've got a board certified doctor, means you've been certified as good. Well, we don't have a board certification for our alternative funders, but Bank Breezy does. We don't allow someone in our platform unless they're good, unless they're going to be mindful to the customer, unless they're going to be tolerant of customers' ups and downs. And they're not going to sell your lead out the back door. Tell us they're already in the system and sell them to a friend at another company. They're not going to take your client and do whatever they want with them and say, "Who are you really? Really, you're an agent for us who sent us a client." So you have leverage because of Bank Breezy. So we're going to find them the best offer from the best carrier in the fastest amount of time with only one application. And they don't even know who 90% of these companies are. So there's no way they would know unless they got called by them. So that's what you're offering, right? So you saw how big that industry was. You saw those 9 million businesses. You know that we need millions of agents. I would like to have a million active agents to serve those 9 million businesses. That's the reality because some will serve 100 a year, some will serve 4 a year. So we need to serve all 9 million. We need to be the monopoly on this. We need to be the one who moves the industry. There's no reason we can't be. That's our intention. We're not the lender, we're the platform. We're not the lender, we're the platform. We want to get them the best offer, and we need to be known by every business owner as if I'm going to get funding and it's not through my bank, it needs to be DAC. If I'm going to get funding and not through bank, it needs to be DAC. So you understanding this, you building the team for it, and you talking to clients about it and being able to put in words. So do you need funding? We can get you the best offer funding. One sentence. Do you need funding? Question mark. We can get you the best offer funding. Make it that simple. You need funding. We can get you the best offer funding. Why? You got to say why? Because we have the business funding platform that connects with the top 20 providers to get you the best offer. Oh, do you need funding? Because we can get you the best offer business funding. Why? Because we have a platform that's connected to the top 20. Can you spit that out to your spouse? Can you spit that out to your son, your mother, your neighbor, the business owner when you're checking out at that bowl of soup? Can you spit that out? Hey, you ever need funding? Because we can get you the best offer funding. Why? Because we got a platform that's connected to the top providers and we're going to find you the best offer one day. Can you say that quickly? Can you teach that quickly? That's it. As long as you can say that, they'll ask follow-up questions. And like I did on the training last night, we had all the warm market texts, what to say and how to answer what are the rates? Is this like a bank loan? Is it monthly payment? We answered every question in the text last night, didn't we? Every one of them, you could have screenshot them all. It gives you and you can modify it a little bit, but we gave you a cut and paste thing that you can just cut and paste it because it works. So if you can get this, you understand that market size. That's all I wanted you to see today is how big that market size is by numbers, by numbers. If you didn't get it, if you got on late, go back and watch the recording. It's on YouTube and it shows by numbers. And I would go at the 2 million businesses that are over $500,000 a year. It's 40,000 a month because that's where you're going to make most of your money. Every brick and mortar restaurant, every brick and mortar company out there that's paying rent is usually doing 50,000 a month or more. Even the 100,000 and 150,000, you're going to get a lot less yeses. But when you get a yes, it's $150,000 funding. So how many do you need? All right, guys, that's it for today. Do you have any questions about anything for me? Wanted to go over the size of the market. I got to admit, it's pretty massive. We need 9 million agents. I'm sorry, we need 1 million agents to serve the 9 million customers. Help us get them and help us be one. Any questions at all about the size of the market? Let me see what we got in the chats here or anything I've talked about. You need funding. You get the best offer in one day or we pay 500. Is that right, Dave? Well, you don't get the best offer in one day guaranteed because if they don't get approved at our best, we got to go to the higher risk. They sometimes take a day and a half to approve us, so that's not accurate. But the $500 guarantee is accurate. So you want to keep it as simple as we say it because can you repeat it and can you teach it? The person who can say it to a fifth grader and the fifth grader gets it. Does a fifth grader understand the word alternative funding? No. Does the fifth grader understand factoring? No. What does a fifth grader understand? Do you need business funding? Do you need a loan? Yeah. We can get you the best funding offer. Why? Because we have a platform that connects with a bunch of funders and we're going to get you the best offer. But you don't have to go apply at all of them. That's pretty simple. Anyone can understand that. The more we make it professional sounding, the more people yawn and disconnect. Just get right to the point, keep it simple. What are the requirements? Can you get 4 months bank statements with over 15,000 a month in it? Then you're pretty much qualified. Let's go. Let's go, let's go, let's go. All right. Any questions about this? Because we're going to wrap up. It's 11:46. Any questions? I have a list of businesses who are searching for loans and sending emails to no response. I want to try to share the list for people to call. Ray, yeah, we don't, keep trying that. You could talk to your team about that. Um, here's the thing about leads. Let's just call it what it is. A phone book is full of leads. It's quality of leads. There's 9 billion businesses out there who match. You turn over a rock. Start with your warm market. I've bought leads. I've paid thousands for leads. I've paid thousands for advertising agencies. I've done all, what's worked best? Hey, I just saw your truck on Mound Street. Hey, I just drove by your circle. Hey, that local relating, I'm not saying that's all you can do, but if we teach it, it's because it's what's getting the most clients. If anyone on here had an email script that was getting 50,000 people, you don't think it'd be the first thing we teach? It ain't working. I emailed 2,000 people last week, 0 clients. 2,000 individual emails, you'll have a lot of clients. 2,000 mass email, good luck even getting it to not hit the spam folder. Please follow our training. Don't shortcut it. If you want to test something, test it, but test it on your own, and then we'll know it's working because we'll see how many clients you get. And we'll be saying, what are you doing? What are you doing? What we teach is what works best. We've gotten thousands of clients with how we teach. We've not gotten thousands by hiring telemarketing rooms. We've not gotten thousands by running Facebook ads. We've not got running, all you got to do is go pretend you're a business owner on Facebook for a minute, and you'll see there's 500 companies running business funding ads. And they all sound exactly the same. So where you beat them is local, feet on the ground. If you don't want to be a B2B agent, we're not for you. If you don't want to talk to business owners, we're not for you. If you just want to be a video marketer, go for it. If you know how to do it, do it. Be an affiliate, that's fine. But that's a hard road to tug. Go tug it if you can. Maybe you'll do amazing at it. But we are a B2B marketing company. That means we have to be willing to talk to business owners. Who? All of them. How? By telephone, by text, by email, individual email, by walking in locally, right? This is a simple business, but it's not easy. But that's what it takes. So if you're going to recruit 10 people, do you want 10 people go, I love talking to business owners? Or do you want 10 people go, I'm not talking to anyone, but I'll sign up for an email at Trustpilot and send up an email system? Okay, well, the email systems, I've tried all those for the first 5 years. I hired all kinds of email companies. Individual emails work. Mass emails don't work unless they're already your customer. Then they're the warm market. Then you can send a mass email out and they'll open it. But even our agents, I send an email out to our agents. 1 out of 10 open it. So how many strangers are going to open your email? Right? So follow the training we teach. Go watch the business funding training if you haven't already. Don't be discouraged about it. Be encouraged. It's simple because very few people are willing to do it. If you bring local education, local boots on the ground to your local town, you'll get every client. Every client. Today in my chamber of commerce, just today, I went in the chamber group. I said, "Hey, I just want to introduce myself. My name is David." This is in the Facebook chamber group because there's a new chamber. My name is David. I just want to introduce myself, David Allen Capital. We help with funding, and we'll get you the best offer. It's alternative funding, revenue base. It's not the best for a lot of people, but if you want to talk to me about the good and the bad and the ugly of it, and we can help you see if it's for you, let me know. I've already gotten 2 calls. 2 calls already. Local chamber. 2 calls already in 2 hours. And some people just don't post in their chamber, don't go to their chamber meetings. Just don't do it. All right, Matt, you got a comment or a question? We'll bring this home.
Yeah, man. Just for everybody here, and Ray Ortiz was saying that he's out of the country, he doesn't have an option, to go door to door. Okay. So Leads. What a joke, right? Leads. I don't want to buy leads. Okay. I hear that. Every time I hear it, I see get leads. I mean, are you kidding me? He just showed you. There are millions. I can't get my mind around this. There are millions of businesses, and I'm not boasting. I was in a company. I was, with an office, two offices, and we're selling over the phone gold and investments, physical items, coins, investment items, right? And I was, working my way through it. I was selling $100,000 in product myself a month. That's 120,000 in revenue. But that's one guy out of like 15. So we were doing about $4 million in annual revenue, right? That was our, um, that's not a lot. I used to now get your brain around it. That's not really a lot of money. These are teeny businesses. They're struggling. A lot of these people are doing this just to break out. It's not easy to get to that point. That's the thing. You've got to make the connection, to disconnect between where they are and where they got to want to be. That's the key. You got to find out where they are somehow and find out where they want to be. It's like, are you looking to grow? They may not want to be growing. Fine. It's not for you. This is not for them. But are you looking to grow your business? Because if you are, I may be your solution. I may not be, and then you can entertain the idea. I just want to throw this out because Mr. Ortiz said, I'm out of the country. So here's what I do. And yesterday, I'm gaining traction with this. David's mentioned it about the chambers, right? If you're local, you got to do it. And I'm not in New Jersey or North Carolina. And if I was, I'm there. I'm going to BNA. I'm going to stand up there in my, jacket. I'm going to be a person. They say, oh yeah, Matt, he's nuts, but I know it's funny or whatever. They can identify you. They remember you, something about you, a character, something about your character, who you are. And you are the funding guy. Okay. And then when, make a call, saving your phone is money, Matt. Okay. Something. So they're associating. As he said, there are millions of real estate agents and they match up with the number of houses sold. There are tens of millions of businesses that need funding, and there's only a handful of us, just a few 100,000. Back to the original slide. The point I want to bring this home because you said to. But I want to tell you, it's not hard. So there's millions of businesses. What do we have to do? Go to Google. We have a computer. I've got everything, all the tools you need. You don't need a lot. You don't have to be, pounding the street. It's a lot of work. It's good. Get out there and get those connect cards to the people that you're meeting in your community. Go first locally. Do what David says. Go locally. I did that. When I was up there in New Jersey, I went to my hometown with those businesses, and I'm your guy locally. But when you're not there or you can't get out, there's a lot of people here, they can't, maybe they can't even get over the fear of, whatever. Okay. Just pick up the phone. Remember, they can't ever punch you in the face on the phone. Not that they're going to do it in person, but you're talking to somebody and you're saying, hey, best funding option in our market if you need it, because nobody can beat us. Travelocity. Everybody relates to it. So identify, Travelocity for an airline ticket. People go there. I go there. I use it. I travel back and forth. And they're going to give me a better offer with it. Some airlines some days. We're that for funding for your small business. That's all. Just so you know, we are the platform. We got all the best in one spot. We've weeded out the bad ones. We've got the best. So and then you just addressed it. Now, when you go to the subordinate, if you ever didn't need it, I'm going to get you the best offer right at our platform. It's simple. It's fast. Here's the bullet points. And where am I sending? Not if I can. I'm sending my link to you so you have it, because you might come across an opportunity you need me. Where am I sending this to? Text or email. That's it. With that attitude, you're going to have people like, oh, great. That's cool. I don't need it, but I want to. That's cool. All of a sudden, their mind starts opening up thinking, I didn't realize I could get this. I have access to money, and this guy's telling me I can, and I'm going to get all of these things are boom, in like a 10-minute, like 10-second flood of information that's yes. Like, oh, great. Yeah, I want to deal with you. So it's like this quick emotional response to your intellect, your information, but it's an emotional thing. Yeah, Travelocity. People wait to get robbed. They go right to the airline. Travelocity or something like that. We've got that platform. We got that model for you. If you ever need funding quickly for any reason, it's going to help your business. Where am I sending my link to? Just assume, where am I sending my link to for you to just save this or use it, And that's like, you're not selling, you're just telling, sharing, informing, and making sure that they know that they're the person. I just have to throw it out because I'm focusing myself personally. I was doing better. I put my post up 4 years ago when I was rolling and I was really focused. I wasn't distracted. So now I'm getting back. I'm focusing again, and I'm saying, what the heck? The business is everywhere. Why are these people buying leads? Why are you wasting your
Well,
time?
let me just jump on that real quick, Matt. I appreciate you jumping in. And Ray, there's nothing. Hey, I bought leads. I tried things too. Encourage. Thanks, Matt, for sharing. By the way, reiterating the bottom line is there's plenty of leads out there. Anyone who says they've got package leads of applications ready to go and you pay money for it are selling that to everyone they can, and they're old and they're not funded already. There's no one who just gets leads off the internet and sells them to one person. So they're selling them to a bunch of people, and then you become an annoyance calling them. You're an annoyance. They don't want to hear from you. I get spammed because I got on one of those lists. I get spammed 10 to 20 times a week, and it's frustrating, right? 10 to 20 times a week, I get spammed, and so are they. And you become one of them. Now you're one of them. You don't want to do that. So you don't buy. I mean, Ray, you already bought the leads. You could call them, but the reality is, if anyone wants to sell leads, I say, hey, why don't we partner together? I won't pay a dime for these leads. We work them together, and I'll give you X percentage on every funding. It's a lot more than you're asking for the leads. And you'll find out the leads are garbage. They're stolen leads. They're stolen packages from other companies. It's garbage. So Ray, you did nothing wrong with initiative. You showed ambition and initiative to get after it. But we teach over and over, don't buy leads. We can't say it enough. Don't ever buy a business funding lead. They're BS. It's a scam market. It's destructive to the client, and it's destructive to your reputation and ours if you say DAC when you call. So just don't ever buy leads. Now, like Matt said, there's a bunch of Googles. You can open up Google and just type in, go to your local town. Go to your local town. You don't need to leave your local market. Now, you live out of the country. Where do you know? Who do you know locally in this country? Are you from this country? Start there, or start local in an industry and call that industry and focus on it. All you got to do is go to Google and type in a city and an industry, and you'll get a bunch of companies to call or email. And you obviously want to make sure you're not violating our TCPA rules. Make sure you read that. But you can email them individually. You can text them individually. I mean, every company out there, my son Addison, our first year in business, he doesn't work with us now, but our first year in business, when we were still guessing things, we we pulled up all the email addresses of a business. We just did a search for automobile repair in our town, and like 20 places came up, and a couple of them have their email right there. We just sent them an email. Hey, we just happened to see your business, blah, 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 blah. You got a client that way. Just type in a little email. All right. So we've covered business funding trainings for 10 years. It hasn't changed. It hasn't changed. You don't need new ideas. The original ideas work. The original ideas work the best. There's nothing that's changed that. Our process has gotten better and easier. There's nothing that needs to be added to what's on the business funding video. There's nothing that people are doing that isn't on there. If you're not doing everything on that video, well, there's the issue. If you're doing everything on that video, you're having success, right? More success anyway. So, Harlequin, you got a question about something?
No, David. I actually have a comment. Um, Data Axle is a really good resource for people if they're, like in Ray's situation, Ray doesn't live in the United States. If he can get somebody's library card information, you didn't hear that from me, but you can go and do a search, do an advanced search, and you can target a specific area by zip code, by whatever. You can do a search based on EIN numbers, based on income, annual revenue, excuse me. And if you want to go and get a target market where you know what their revenue is, rather than, on Google, you don't necessarily know what their revenue is. But that's a great way to get some additional resource or list of things.
Thank you. So Data Axle, if you can get into a library, guys, do that. Check it out. I've never used it, but thank you, Harlequin, for sharing. I think the key is We talked about yesterday revenue generating activities. Every moment you spend on a non-revenue generating activity is wasteful. Google takes you 35 seconds and you got 10 businesses to reach out to. The issue isn't leads. The issue isn't leads when you live in America or when you don't live in America. That's not the issue. The issue is expediency to get you do a search for restaurants in a town, construction companies in a town, roofing companies in a town. They're doing plenty of business. Now, if you want to go to Dattalaxle and you can want to go to your library and do all that, I don't even have a library card. I don't want to waste the time getting one. It may be great for you. Check it out. Dun and Bradstreet listing, state of Michigan listing. How about just your local chamber of commerce listing? There's all kinds of listings. So that's not it. Don't let that be your hindrance. That's a speed bump. It is not a roadblock. Okay. It's real simple. Start with your warm market, which is right here. If you haven't gone through this yet and called all the business owners in there, or text them and email them, start there and then move to cold market and B2B. If you're not sure how to do cold market, we teach it. The best way is to make them a friend. You got to relate and identify with them somehow. And of course, your video. So our funding training covers it all. That's not the purpose of this training. I wanted to go through the market size and just encourage you all to know we're sitting at a place in time 20 years from now, alternative funding will be like mortgages. It's going to be, it's going to be the standard. It already is becoming that, but the industry needs some cleaning up. It needs to be licensed, frankly. The day will come when you'll have to be licensed to do this. And I welcome that day because I want to get these scammers out of the space. So I welcome that day. And our LMS is going to be a first step toward that. And I welcome the day when that happens. I don't like state registration fees. Right now, they don't exist. But hey, we'll get rid of a lot of bad actors once they do that. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. We're one of the only people who can sell market business capital in California with our top providers because we meet the status and quota of the, and I don't mean sales quota, I mean the status and ability and integrity of our providers in that state. So I welcome, get rid of the scammers, get rid of them all. I'm okay with that. And so right now you don't need a license. The day will come when you do. The day will come when your whole sales team will. Right now it doesn't. So strike while the iron is hot. It's free range right now. It's a gold rush. Let's rock and roll. We'll keep the integrity. You keep the expansion.